Now, in the case that you are going to a location where you already know the name of it, you might want to type in, as you can see, Sussex Fire. It goes in automatically, and I click Add Leg. And again, I can see everything I want to know about this waypoint and the course there. And then I'm going to want to go to the hospital, so I'll just type in Morristown Hospital. I'll click Add Leg. And Leg 2 is created. As you can see, I still don't have very good weather. Now what's interesting about this is we have a course line obstruction here. So let's take a look at this and see what this looks like on a normal map, the course line obstruction. The course line obstruction actually is near the airport here. And we're actually going to bring this up on the profile. And you can see there are a lot of buildings near the airport here. And as you can see, our ceiling at 1,100 feet or so is basically below the highest mountain range. So this is not going to be a safe flight unless we're going IFR. Now, I'm going to close this flight out. I'm going to go to Flights and Waypoints and close a flight. And when I close the flight out, you'll see my weather comes up again. You can see the weather. And I happen to have the weather going out very, very far just for testing purposes. But the weather comes out, and then also all the TFRs come out as well. Now, if I want to actually put a waypoint in with coordinates, I'd do 4000.1, 7500.0. I really don't know where this is. Okay, it's near Philadelphia. And actually, I already have some test waypoints there. But I'm going to pretend that I never went here before. And I'm just going to click Add Leg. I'm not going to choose an existing waypoint. I'm just going to choose Add Leg. And this is pretty far. It's 55 nautical miles. And as you can see, there are quite a few obstructions along the route. But what I want to do is maybe later on, when I get back to the base, I might want to name this waypoint. And I click that name waypoint. And I can maybe call this, I don't know, NJ, we'll call it actually JL for Jersey Landing TST. And again, it's showing me I already have stored waypoints there. The waypoint city name is going to be Test City, or actually the name rather. And we're going to call this Maple Shade, New Jersey. And I'm not going to make this available to the New Jersey region. I'm only going to make it available to my base. And that's an important distinction here. When you're actually adding a waypoint, you can choose whether that waypoint will be available only to your base or to your entire region. And for this test, and for this particular setup, all your bases are in one region. So we're going to go ahead and create waypoint. And the waypoint now has been created, Test City. Okay? Now we're going to close this flight out. Now we're going to do something with stored routes. And what's a stored route? We all do milk runs. We all go to do interfacility transfers. And I know that I do the Newton transfer all the time. And here we go. I'm going to load this stored route. This is Newton Memorial Hospital. And as you can see, I have all the legs in here. And it's really simple. I go to Newton Memorial Hospital. Then I go to Morristown Hospital, and then I go to the airport, and then I come back to the base. And it shows me all the legs. Very simple to do, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're going to go to Manage Stored Routes, and I'm going to say Paul Test Route 22. I submit, and I go to Paul Test Route 22, and I'm going to say we're going to start from, let's see, my base, and we're going to go to Jersey Shore Medical Center, and then from there we're going to go to Robert Wood Johnson, and then we're going to go to Morristown Memorial Hospital, and we're going to go back to our base. That's it. That's all there is to it. So return to previous menu, and we're going to go back to the main menu. I just put in 22 there because I remember I did that. And there's my stored route. Now keep in mind, it's calculating a lot of things now. We're calculating terrain, weather, distance, obstructions. So it takes a couple seconds for it to come up. But as you can see, the entire route just came up here. And how long did that take? 5 seconds to put that in? It was that easy. Now we're going to go to add waypoint. Just as we showed before, you can actually just manually add a waypoint if you'd like. You can do 4105.37500.0. We'll call this JLTST2. Waypoint name, I don't know. And again, the city, it's going to show you the closest cities here, and you can just choose the one you want and make it available to the base and the region, or just the base. Most times you'll make it available to the region, but we're not going to create a new waypoint because this doesn't really exist. You can go ahead and you can modify your waypoints as well, and this is actually a pretty informative screen here. This shows you base waypoints and region waypoints, and you can go down here, and the highlighted one actually is considered an aeronautical base. And you can go down here and you can see all the different waypoints. And here we have Alexandria LZ. I can just go ahead and view it and see where it's located on a map. We can keep zooming out. And we can modify this waypoint if we want, but we're not actually going to. We're going to leave it as is. And as you can see, there's a lot you can do. You can also export these waypoints to a spreadsheet if you'd like, and you can delete it too. Additionally, you can view your previous flights, and this will show the last 30 days. And you can actually bring that flight up if you'd like. And here we go. And what it'll do, what's interesting, is it'll bring the waypoints up that you did, but it'll calculate the weather based on right now. So you're not going to take historical weather, you can take the weather that you have right now and the trend. We'll go ahead and close that. Now, if you want to look at enhanced weather, we have a QICP approved weather tool here for radar. This is QICP approved. We click that link here. And this is a really powerful radar tool. And I'm actually going to go down to here, this area in Florida, and take a really close look. I zoomed up a little bit too much there. There we go. As you can see, there's some pretty nasty stuff there. And I'm actually going to want to show global lightning. So I'm going to go to weather, global lightning. We should get a couple lightning bolts show up there. There we go. And if I want to change the opacity, the transparency, I can kind of bring it like that so I can kind of see really where that weather is. And I can put it in motion now. And now the whole map is in motion. The lightning won't be in motion, but everything else is in motion. Now I have two screens up. I've got a dispatcher, as you can see, CENTCOM dispatcher, and I've got myself up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down as a CENTCOM dispatcher, and I'm going to assign a flight. I'm going to load a very common interfacility flight. That takes a couple seconds here because, again, we're pulling up a lot of information. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Flights, Assign Flight, and I'm going to choose Atlantic Air 1. Now you're going to see here under Incoming Flight Requests, within about 5 seconds I should get a request, and here you go. Incoming Flight Request from CENTCOM, Summit, New Jersey. I click that and it says you are not assigned to Flight 2198. Click here to assign yourself. So I assign myself here, and as you can see, I now have the flight that the dispatcher gave me, and we both see the same exact thing. Very, very powerful feature. Now let's say I take a look and say, you know what, this is not going to work. I'm going to deny this prior to lift. I've denied that prior to lift, and you can see that denied prior to lift. The whole region will see that you denied a flight prior to lift because of weather or any other thing. Denied mechanical, denied medical, cancel en route, etc. Now if I denied prior to lift, I can click to confirm it. The flight is now confirmed. I can, if I want, put notes in, but because I already closed the flight, I can no longer put notes in. So I'm going to show you if we close the flight and I create a new one now, I'll just do Newton LZ. I'll click on Add Leg. I can put some notes here. Click here to modify. I'll update the notes, and then anybody who looks at this flight will be able to see the notes. I'm going to go ahead again and close this flight. Now, if you want any further documentation or examples in the user documentation section, we have quite a bit of documentation that just goes over everything in detail. This documentation should serve to really give you a good background on how the application operates. But overall, any questions about the application, support at dl.org is the best way to get in contact with us, and then we'll probably be supplying a contact phone number. Check through your area manager for that number. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to working with you.